Hello, fictional. Welcome to the What If Issei. Today we are gonna see, what if Issei got harem with Serafall and Sona? Part 2. If you end up liking this video, please consider subscribe, so without further ado, let's get into the video. Issei is seen sparring with Dulio in the training room, although he seems to be at quite a disadvantage due to the difference in strength. Issei can't even land a single punch despite using illegal move Trident. Dulio, on the other hand, would just simply move aside to dodge Issei's attack or would block them by only using one hand. You fight quite well Serafall, but the instability of Cardinal Crimson promotion is showing with the way you fight. You seem to rely more on using the powers of the Rook than Knight and you lose your stamina much faster than your other forms when you use Bishop. I train my forms one by one. Using all three at once is most troubling when you are in battle. That is true Serafall, but you shouldn't train just one form consecutively. In order for you to fully master Cardinal Crimson promotion, it might be better for you to take turns each day instead. I see. In that case Sonic Boost Knight. Issei's armor begins to shed, making it less bulky. Armor release. His armor sheds even more weight. Issei then begins charging at Dulio at Godspeed and begins circling around in an attempt to confuse him, but the latter remains unfazed. As Issei moves in for a quick strike, Dulio sticks his hand out and easily blocks his fist and pushes him back. As the rest continue training, Saji suddenly shows up in a panic. There was a wounded girl outside of your house. Saji? What happened? Issei asked. There was a wounded girl found outside of the gate. Your parents took her in and are treating her, but we need Asia sent to treat her. Yes, I'll come. Asia immediately rushed out of the training room. We'll put our training on hold. Whatever happened to that girl might relate to the Khaos Brigade. Dulio said and then rushed out. The girl is seen in the living room currently being treated by Asia while being cared for by Issei's parents. Hi do you know who this girl is? Saji asked. No. This is the first time I've seen her. I wonder what happened. Yin can smell the blood of the vampire coming from this girl. She must have traveled all the way from Romania. Tobio explained. How is her condition? Dulio asked. Her wounds are deep, but I should be able to heal them, though it might take a while before she can wake up. Asia said. As Gaspar and Kaneko make their way downstairs, the former immediately recognizes the girl and rushes to her. Valerie. What is she doing here? How did she get like this? Saji found her wounded outside of my house, so my parents took her in and Asia started treating her. If she came here all the way from Romania, then something must be happening there. Riaz might be in trouble. Sona becomes alarmed. Issei becomes worried. Then we've got to go there right now. I don't think that is a good idea at the moment Issei-kun. Remember, Valerie is now the head of the Teeps faction. If we just leave her here or bring her back, it will put her in danger. You already saw her condition when she was found. If they are looking for her, then at least we will lead the danger away from Riaz and the others for the time being. Sona explained. We better watch ourselves, however, since we don't know how powerful her enemies are. We have to stand on guard at all times. Roswa suggested. Everybody, Valerie's starting to wake up. Irina took notice. When Valerie opens her eyes, the first thing she sees is Gaspar's crying face before looking at everyone around her. What? Gaspar? Valerie asked. Gaspar immediately hugged Valerie upon seeing her wake up. Hey. You are still such a baby, Gaspar. I am just glad to see that you are still alive Valerie. Same here. Valerie then takes a look at her surroundings. Where exactly are we? Valerie asked. You are in Senpai's house. His parents took you in after Saji Senpai saw you injured. Gaspar turns his head towards Issei, allowing Valerie to get a good look at him. Much obliged to your hospitality. No problem. You are Gaspar's friend after all. I see. You have made many friends Gaspar. I am so proud of you. Thank you. They are also the first people who accepted me. Gaspar smiles. Suddenly, Valerie remembers something and begins to panic, turning her head side to side. Valerie, what's wrong? Gaspar asked. They are coming for me. Everyone, find a place to hide quickly. Before they can react, an explosion was heard from a long distance. When everybody goes outside, they can see smoke coming from Kuo Academy. They must have tracked her to the city. We must hurry or there will be human casualties. Dulio flies off with Dog and Jin following. Before the rest can respond, a magic communication circle appears in front of them showing Azazel. Sensei, Kuo Academy is being attacked right now. What is going on? Marius has sent Euclid, Grindle, and Krom Kruich to retrieve Valerie. Try to hold them off until we arrive. They've already attacked. Couldn't you have mentioned that earlier? The Khaos Brigade is moving faster than before. Just do as I say until we arrive. Azazel then hangs up. Did Azazel just say that Grendel and Krom Kruich is here? Ddraig becomes disturbed at the message. They are attacking the school right now. Once we get there, I am going to need all you can give me, Ddraig. Partner, Crom Cruach is the strongest evil dragon in existence. He is the type of dragon you want to avoid fighting at all cost. There is no avoiding it, considering that innocent lives are at stake here. Hopefully with our combined forces, we should at least have a chance to fight them. If you are going to fight, then make sure to fight at your best. Don't even think about taking it easy. Good luck, partner. Ddraig warned. Griselda retreats back to heaven to alert the Seraphs of the attack. LeFay, Kuroka, Office and Ravel were told to stay home to protect Valerie and watch over the house in case the Khaos Brigade gets there. Once they reached Kuo Academy, they can already see part of the building destroyed. Luckily, there were no civilians in sight during the attack. As the dust begins to fade, 2 human silhouettes and 1 giant dragon silhouette were seen. When the dust clears, Euclid, Grindle and Crom Cruach, who has taken the form of a human with black blonde hair and heterochromic eyes, were standing only 10 feet away from them. We are here to take back Valerie. Should you not obey, death will be what awaits you. Euclid said. We don't negotiate with terrorists. We will protect Valerie and we will stop you. Dulio shouted. I see. So the strongest exorcist and one of the top fighters of Grigori decided to join. This should be interesting. I am back, Ddraig-chan. Is it time for me to destroy you? Grindle approaches Issei. As Issei prepares for battle, Dulio stops him. Sekiruite Dono, we will take care of Grindle and Euclid, you take care of Crom Cruach. You are pitting me against the strongest evil dragon alone. No. Jin can sense another coming. Dog said. As Issei looks straight at Crom Cruach, a magic circle appears in front of him. The one coming out happens to be Vali in his normal balance breaker form. So this is the strongest evil dragon I was told about. It looks like we are going to have to work together in order to fight him, hi to Issei. So Vali is also joining the battle. That actually makes me feel relieved a little. Issei said in his thoughts. Before Vali and Issei could say any more, the Gremory group along with Saji and Sona already begins attacking Crom Cruach, while Dulio and Dog attacks Euclid in his inferior balance breaker form. Seeing this, Issei begins activating Cardinal Crimson promotion. I, who is about to awaken, am the Sekiruite who holds the truth of the king up high. Holding the infinite hopes and unbreakable dreams and walking the path of righteousness. I will become an emperor of Crimson Dragon. And I will lead you to the path of heaven, glowing in deep crimson light. Cardinal Crimson full drive. Once Issei's armor turns crimson, he notices that Vali is still in his normal balance breaker. Sorry about this, hi to Issei, but I have to save the energy to use Juggernaut Overdrive against a real enemy. Vali stated. Real enemy? Yes. He is a super devil even more powerful than the people we are facing right now. That is the person I want to fight the most. He may be the one most likely behind this attack. Seriously? If that is the case, then let's try to find a way to overthrow Crom Cruach then. Uneasiness grows within Easy. For both heavenly dragons to work together instead of fighting, this should be interesting. I shall enjoy this to the fullest. Crom Cruach raised his kai as he prepares for battle. Take this. Issei attempts to land a punch at Crom Cruach, but the humanoid dragon easily dodged the attack. Crom Cruach strikes back with a punch of his own, sending Issei through the debris of the school. Issei can still feel the after effects of the punch. Vali unleashes a powerful demonic energy towards the enemy dragon, but was blocked after Crom Cruach had one of his wings enveloped his own body. It appears that I will have to use stronger attacks. Vali, I need you to support me so my attacks can hit him. Ooh, that sound interesting. Vali then moves closer to Crom Cruach and begins fighting him in close combat. Issei grabs a cannon from his left wing and aims at the dragon. Crimson Blaster plus Ascalon. Fang Blast Booster. A large amount of energy and crimson color blast out of the cannon, hitting Crom Cruach directly while he was defending himself with his wings. The attack had strong impact, but as soon as the smoke clears, the only damage seen on Crom Cruach was a damaged wing and part of his human form destroyed. He still stands as if the attack did not affect him. That was a good attack, but that won't be enough to break through me who is known as the Darkness Dragon. We will complete our main objective no matter what the cost is. The training I have done in the human world and underworld allows me to take ideas like that directly. I thought you were destroyed due to the lack of people believing in your existence. Vali said. True that I left the land for that reason, but not once was I destroyed. I just went observing both worlds as an experience. I want to see the place where dragons would reach at the end. Looks like we both have something in common. I'm even more interested in you now, Crom Cruach. Let's see which one of us will reach that goal first. Murayama and Caddis were forced to watch the battles in the sidelines, but are trembling after seeing their true abilities. These are the terrorists all of you are fighting against. We thought Haidu was strong, but by the looks of it, all of them look kind of scary. You two are still new, so it's common that you would be surprised by this. Sylphie said, acting as a bodyguard. But while they are fighting, what are we supposed to do? It doesn't feel good just to watch as they are risking their lives protecting what is left of the school. Murayama stated. Yes, but you two still lack the training to be fighting in battles like this. They are actually some of the strongest opponents that both the forces of the underworld and heaven are having trouble dealing with and are working together as a result. Beginners like yourselves shouldn't be involved with such fights. I also don't feel good just standing here and doing nothing. Can we just summon the giant bird? Every creature that are summoned are different. There might be a price you have to pay in order to summon Resvulgar. I know this especially after seeing Asia Sen summon the Dragon King, Fafnir, during training. Man, that dragon was horrible. Sylphie also begins trembling. What happened? The Kendo girls immediately got curious. Don't make me remember. Sylphie's face turns red as she looks away from the Kendo girls. Ddraig, it looks like we are going to need a little help here. It was never wise for us to take on Krom Kruich at this stage, partner. He was able to withstand one of our most powerful attacks without any enhancement, and with the extra training he has been through, his power may have reached the level of a heavenly dragon. Even in True Queen, you are not at the stage to defeat him. But we can't let them to get to Valerie. As Krom Kruich begins to strike, he suddenly stops moving. He looks at his leg and saw that it was being pulled by a dark force. Looking ahead, the humanoid dragon spots Gasper using Forbidden Baylor view as he covers himself in darkness. Recognizing where this darkness come from, Krom Kruich smiles. Baylor, how nice for us to meet again, yet you don't seem as powerful as you once were. You're right. I lost my divinity, but my power remains within Gasper as only a fraction of his consciousness, where I became this boy since birth, as the actual Baylor was killed by the god La. In the situation you are in right now, none of this matters, right? I will never allow you to get to Valerie. Even with only a fraction of your consciousness, this still would have been a threat to me back then, but with my current self. Krom Kruich easily breaks free of his restraints, much to the dismay of the dark Gasper. You can no longer control me as you once did. I have gotten stronger while you have gotten weaker, so the results were obvious from the very beginning. True, but I am not alone. Dark Gasper takes a look at all of his friends and allies working together fighting the Khaos Brigade. My strength is now made up by my friends and allies. Together, we can defeat you. As Issei looks at Gasper with shock, he soon begins to feel pain on his left arm. Ah! His left arm is emitting energy of similar intensity as Dark Gasper's, slowly transforming his armor black. What is happening? The loud roar was heard, something that even surprises Dark Gasper. I still have some unfinished business with the evil dragons. Ice, you either overcome this painful obstacle or I take over. Adaja, what are you doing? Ddraig is also alarmed at Adaja's sudden appearance. The evil dragons left me for dead. I will not let this opportunity to go to waste. Grindle, Krom Kruich, and AI.Ka are all alive. I will kill them. I will kill them all. Issei continues to scream in pain as his armor further transforms. What is happening? Akeno is also dismayed by the sight. Adaja is awakened. He is trying to take over Ice-kun's body. Sona said. Partner, I can't stop Adaja at this stage. This was definitely going to happen, so you will need to overcome this, or Adaja will take over your body and corrupt you. That darn dragon. Gah. Does he really hate evil dragons that much? He wouldn't be in this state if he didn't. La. Issei starts spilling blood. You listen here, Ice. I will fight the evil dragons no matter what. If you can't overcome this, then weaklings like you will die with the rest. Like I will let you kill me. We shall see. Adaja releases even more of his power to Issei's body, causing the pain to become more intense. Ai-san. What should we do? Should I summon Fafnir? Asia begins to panic and goes after Issei before being stopped by Roswis. Don't. If you come too close, you will go through the same thing. We just have to believe that Ice-kun will overcome this. I shall be in control and slaughter those who try to kill me. No, I shall rule all. No, Adaja, it will be me who rules you. And how can you do that in this state? You are already at the state where you can barely keep your sanity. You are no partner of mine. Issei then starts seeing the tragedies of the previous hosts caused by the attempt of using Adaja's power. Realizing that he is doing the same thing as his predecessors, he now knows that the struggle of power is what killed them, that he won't be able to suppress Adaja from coming out in the end. I see now. Adaja, if vengeance is what you truly desire, then I shall allow my body to be your vessel. Take over. What? Everybody yelled in dismay. Adaja's dark aura finally spreads fully across Issei's scale mail armor. This is new. Albion, do you know what is going on? No. This is the first time I have seen this in all my years of being sealed. Ddraig doesn't even have this power, which means that his current host has something else. As soon as the dark energy clears away, Issei is seen in a black armor filled with yellow spikes on his forearms and in a tail connected between his shoulders. The armor is very similar in appearance to Issei's normal balance breaker, except for the color, and it appears to be more primal and bulky, making it more beast-like. It appears that you have finally figured it out. Congratulations, Ice. Ddraig commended Issei for being the first host to finally achieve balance breaker with him. I thought I recognized that energy from somewhere. So Ddraig was in Ddraig's sacred gear all along. A lot really has changed since I last saw him. Crouch commented. Ddraig, the evil dragon of Slavic mythology. Valerie is also astonished. Amazing for the boosted gear to have 2 dragons instead of 1. Albion is also impressed. Amazing. Dulio is also impressed at Issei's transformation. An evil dragon on our side. Things just got more interesting. Tobio commented. It looks like I will have to gather more data on this boy. Euclid also seems surprised. So Ddraig, what does this armor do? There is a wide variety of abilities that you can choose from and use. Considering that you can only reach your imperfect true queen with Ddraig at your farthest, this armor is only as strong as that in terms of raw power, but its variety of abilities will make it more reliable for use. The only drawback is that you will run out of stamina much more quickly. Partner, I can still transfer power to the armor, but you won't be able to use the abilities you have with True Queen since you are using Ddraig's armor instead. I see. Time to give this armor a test run starting with Crouch. Issei grabs the tail behind him and rips it out from his armor. Dark energy surrounds the tail, transforming it into a black sword. The sword can cut the power of your opponents, but not by large amounts, and it won't be able to absorb it like Albion. Alright. That's a start. Area. Issei begins charging at Crouch with his tail sword, but the humanoid dragon easily dodged the attack and unleashes a powerful breath of fire. Crouch is fighting more seriously now. Ice, use your fire breath. Ddraig ordered. Yes. Issei did as he was told and begins inhaling deeply. Issei uses the boosted gear's ability to power his attack and finally releases his own breath of fire. Like his battle with Grindle, his flames are blue instead of orange. As soon as Issei's fire clashes with Crouch's, both attacks explode upon impact. I see you haven't lost your step despite being sealed in a sacred gear. In fact, you might have become even stronger than you were. This will make the fight more entertaining. Crouch increased his Kai, having more of a desire to fight Issei seriously. Let's see what else this armor can do. Issei points his sword at the dragon. Crouch begins charging at Issei after witnessing Ddraig's true awakening. This is it, Ddraig. Give me a battle that I would never forget. Crouch then aims his right fist towards Issei, showing no signs of holding back. Hold still, Ice. I am going to stop this guy. Just what are you planning? What the? Crouch notices that his fist is not moving any further after reaching just 1 inch apart from Issei's face. When Crouch looks down, he sees a dragon head grabbing his leg. Another dragon head shows up and bites his arm, pulling his fist back from Issei. Wow. How did I? As Issei tries to figure out this ability, Ddraig calls him again. You didn't. I did. In legend, I am considered a multi-headed dragon, but that is only half correct. I can actually copy my own head and make them grow on any surface, including my own body. People saw me in that form, which is why the legend was born. Alright, so now what? Hit him with the sword, you idiot. Ddraig becomes frustrated. Okay. Issei then prepares to swing his tail sword at Crouch, but the humanoid dragon manages to break free and avoided a direct strike. It seems like you managed to make a small cut on Crouch's face. I can feel his power decreasing a little. DSK. Crouch shows small signs of frustration. It looks like we might have to intervene. Euclid suggested. First Ddraig-chan, then Albion-chan, and now Ddraig-chan is going to join the fight. I love this era. There is no end to how many strong brats there are in this world. Grindle becomes excited, but both he and Euclid were stopped by Crouch. Don't you dare interfere. It has been a while since I was able to fight seriously, and I am going to enjoy it to the fullest. Besides, your opponents are us. Dulio, followed by Tobio and Jin, stops Euclid and Grindle. The rest of the team also joined in, but does not interfere with Issei's battle with Crouch. This is very interesting. I wonder what other abilities Issei has using Ddraig. Valerie watches the battle patiently, knowing that all of the opponents would be too easy since the whole team is battling them. Among all the years I was sealed, never have I thought of a sacred gear with 2 legendary dragon, let alone the red one and an evil dragon. If his host manages to master the power of both dragons, we are at a disadvantage. If that is true, Albion, that would only increase my desire to fight Issei once this is done. Back to the battle, Issei breathes blue fire again, but this time, he manipulates it, surrounding Cruach and trapping him in a fireball. Like such a thing could hurt me. Ice, increase pressure of the attack. Like this. Issei begins turning his right hand into a fist. This is new. Cruach notices that the fireball surrounding him is getting smaller and brighter. Let's see what happens when I do this. Issei's hand finally turns into a fist. The fire then begins glowing until it turns white, releasing all of the pressure and causing a huge fiery explosion, strong enough for everyone to use defense spells, but falls short of damaging the rest of Kuo Academy. Whoa. Issei was amazed by the power of the explosion. Did we stop Cruach? Is he dead? The strongest evil dragon won't go down so easily. Ice. That attack might slow him down, but it won't kill him. Issei then notices magic circles that were summoned by the team. Sorry. Did my attack hit you? It's okay, but it did catch us by surprise. Dulio laughs a bit. It looks like I will have to research a bit more about Ddraig. He has an amazing number of abilities. Sona takes a curious look at Issei, making him feel awkward. That was another nice attack. Too bad that it still wasn't strong enough to break through me. Cruach emerges from the smoke with his human skin damaged on the head and his left shoulder. It looks like I will have to try another technique. Before Issei can try anything else, however, he felt his body becoming heavier all of a sudden. What's happening? I warned you about my abilities. Each technique requires a different amount of stamina for you to use them. Apparently, that last attack took a lot out of you. The fact that you also haven't fully mastered True Queen also plays a factor to your lack of stamina. You won't be able to use the same attack for a while. It looks like I will have to stick to what I already used. Issei charges at Cruach with his tail sword, but his strike was avoided by the latter. Cruach then launches a direct hit with his fist, sending him flying backwards. As Issei struggles to stand up, he puts his hand on the damaged area. Pow. It looks like Ai-san is in trouble. I will have to summon Fafnir. Asia then takes out a panty from her pocket, something that Murayama and Khaos takes notice of. What are you doing, Asia-san? Murayama immediately stops her. In order to get Fafnir to listen to me, I have to sacrifice a panty to him so he can help Ai-san. How? Asia becomes dismayed at the thought. No, we will not allow someone as pure as Asia be used by such a perverted beast. Let us summon our own creature to help Haidu. Right. Leave it to us, Asia-san. Khaos and Murayama then hold hands together while summoning a magic circle in the other. But you don't know the cost of summoning your creature. Asia warned. As long as we don't have to give up our panties, anything will do. Agreed. Now it is time to summon Resvulgar. The Kendo girls then put both magic circles on the ground, which fuses and creates a big one. From the circle, a giant eagle emerges and spread his wings as he flies around. Resvulgar, we summon you to provide assistance against the evil dragon. What is your price for the summoning? Khaos asked. Resvulgar's eyes begins to glow yellow and traps both girls inside of a tornado. Once the tornado clears, Murayama and Khaos emerges only in their underwear. Both girls screamed out of embarrassment and desperately tried to cover their underwear. The others were just as surprised over what just happened. What is this? Murayama screamed. That is my price for assistance. Resvulgar lets out a loud squawk. I take it all back, Murayama. I think I would rather give up a panty from my closet than to be half naked in public. Khaos complained. Don't look at us. Resvulgar, I thank you for allowing me to witness such an awesome event, but please remove the bra and panties next time. Issei whispered while wiping out blood from his nose. Ouch. Kaneko hits him on the back of the head. Lewd thoughts are forbidden, senpai. Are you thinking of naked bodies of women in the middle of a battle? Turn your head around. We still have to deal with Cruach. The Ddraig is very dismayed over Issei's lewd thoughts while he is still battling. Alright, let's see what else I can do. Before Issei can think of a strategy, Cruach was already heading towards him. Issei narrowly avoided the strike by moving to the side. Not bad, but you can't dodge this one. Cruach then strikes Issei using his other fist, but Issei manages to block it with both of his hands. While still holding on, Issei then unleashes another large stream of blue fire, directly hitting Cruach this time, but to little effect as it only burns more of his human skin off. Time really has not weakened you, Ddraig, but sadly, your desire for vengeance have caused you to lose your judgment, therefore your attacks are poorly coordinated and renders the rest of your abilities useless, since the Sekiryuite no longer has the stamina. You used more power than you should have, which is why you ended up in this exhausted state. Cruach then grabs Issei's throat and unleashes his own fire breath towards Issei. Issei screams in pain. Before any more damage can be done, Resvulgar blew the fire back at Kromkruch, and Vali decides to come back to the battle after noticing Issei's limit using a dodge's power. Give it up, Kromkruch. You're no match against all of us. Resvulgar proudly declares. Fine. There is still more data to gather anyway. Valerie is yours for now, but mark my words that we will be back. Euclid then orders both dragons to retreat. What? But I still want to fight. Grindle is dismayed that the fight ended so quickly. We are at a disadvantage considering that there are 4 legendary beasts including the 2 dragons within the Sekiryuite. The fact that the strongest exorcist and one of the Grigori's top fighters are also here would make it impossible for us to complete our mission without alerting the rest of the 3 factions. Next time we fight, it will be to the death, so get stronger. Kromkruch tells Issei. The 3 members then retreated using a magic circle, allowing Issei and the rest of the team some relief. Issei then turns his attention on the Kendo girls, both of whom are whimpering out of embarrassment due to their half-naked bodies. Get away from us, you beast. Miracle yelled after noticing that Issei's gaze is on her and Khaos. Since Issei is now more focused on his allies, he tries to resist letting his perverted instincts take over. He places his school jacket over Miracle and asks Asia if there are any towels or extra clothing for Khaos. I do. Khaos is surprised by Issei's act of kindness. After everything that has happened, I am more concerned on whether you are okay or not. Just please don't call me a pervert when I am only trying to help. I see. So this is the side of Haidu that Sona Kaichu was trying to tell us. Miracle remembers Sona's opinion about Issei being more than just a pervert, causing her to question her initial opinion of him. Ice. Miracle and Khaos turn their head back to see Riaz, who is currently showing a surprised expression on her face after seeing Issei standing in front of the half-naked Kendo girls as Azazel and Kiba make their return. But you. Wait. This isn't what it looks like. Just what in the heck were you doing while we were gone? Riaz yelled. Back in the Haidu residence. Oh, so that's what happened. I've heard from Sona and Azazel about Ice's new power as well as rescuing Valerie. I am quite amazed how many things have happened since we were gone, but it is even more surprising that we have 2 more girls that hold another legendary creature. Riaz shows mixed feelings after looking at Miracle and Khaos. We didn't think we would have a legendary creature ourselves. We were just living our lives as usual until we found out. It was horrible summoning that creature. Miracle's face turns red after remembering the price of summoning Resvulgar. That bird making our clothes disappear as a price. Rarely have I ever been so humiliated other than being harassed by Haidu at school. Khaos is still shaking over the experience. Hey, I don't do that while we are in the house, okay? Since you are already living here, let's just try to get along. Issei complained. But I will admit, you did look kind of cool when you are fighting Haidu. Miracle embarrassingly admitted. After the battle was over, I thought that Haidu was going to take advantage of us, but instead treated us with kindness by handing something to cover us. It really surprised me. Khaos also finally admitted one of Issei's good points. After seeing the blushing faces of the Kendo girls, Riaz starts emitting a crimson aura out of jealousy, while Kendo gives a creepy smile towards him, but before they can do anything, someone rushes in and starts hugging Issei from behind. Ice-kun. I am finally back from the underworld. I missed being with everyone so much. Did you miss me? Serafall playfully hugs Issei, which causes Riaz and Kendo to back off. It's good to see you again, Serah. Issei replied. I heard a lot has happened from Azazel-chan. For Ice-kun to awaken the power of the second dragon, as well as being able to face Kromkruch with it was amazing. Serafall then turns her head towards the Kendo girls. I also heard that you summoned Resvulgar in order to help Ice-kun. I thank you for that. Yeah, but at a terrible price. By the way, Levi-sensei, what is with that outfit? Do you cosplay as a hobby? Miracle asked after noticing Serafall's magical girl attire. This is my uniform. I always wear it so that I can defeat enemies with just a flicker of my wand. Serafall did a pose and a peace sign to follow, rendering the Kendo girl speechless. Sorry, but this is how one Isama is in real life, so please get along with her. Sona is still dismayed over Serafall's passion for magical girls. Haidu told us that you two were sisters, but it is hard to believe that since you two are way different from each other. Kata said. Excuse me. What exactly happened in Romania while I was gone? Valerie asked as she heads downstairs to join the group. Not good. Marius will still be after your holy grail, and no doubt that he plans to send Kromkruch to retrieve it. The vampire community is also being threatened by the super devil known as Rizavam Livan Lucifer, the grandfather of Vali, who plans to cause chaos by unleashing an army of evil dragons. Riaz explained. No one knows of this but us, since both factions are too busy fighting each other to care. Valerie is only Marius's objective so he could obtain your holy grail, but Rizivim doesn't need it considering that he already has one extracted from you according to Azazel-sensei. Kiba added himself in. It looks like my worst fears have been realized. It doesn't look like Romania will be getting better anytime soon. There is some good news though. Considering that they were able to successfully defend you from Marius, his plans were halt and knowing that he would need to be at his full strength to retrieve it and due to the war with the Carmilla faction, it would actually take some time for him to prepare another attack. And next time, we will be the ones who attack him. What about Rizivim though? Rizivim is not the type who would attack directly out into the open. He proclaimed to us that he will wait until we are ready. Apparently, he is trying to test us. Riaz said. That is where we will have to come in. Sun Wukong emerges while followed by Dulio, Tobio, Jin, Sarair Bale, and Vali. No doubt that all of you have fought your battles well, but in order for you to face such enemies again, you are going to have to reach the levels where you are able to reach ultimate class devils, as well as Amayu and God. We will discuss this more in the VIP meeting area. On the 6th floor of the Haidu residence. Everyone in the house, minus Issei's parents, were joined by Sekvera Gers, Griselda, and Azazel to discuss the situation at hand which later lead to the formation of DxD. Azazel then mentions that Rizivim has the intention of summoning a beast known as the 666, which is said to be as strong as Great Red and was sealed by the god of the Bible before the Great War. In order for the Vali team to join DxD, the group was pardoned of their crimes thanks to Auden, who adopted Vali as his son, much to the dismay of Sekvera due to their criminal records. Dulio was named the leader of the team, much to his surprise, due to the bad image that devils and fallen angels show in general. After Azazel manages to get through to Dulio, the latter would accept the position only if Sun Wukong would become the sub-leader, which he accepts. However, what they did not expect was having another visitor. The magic circle suddenly appeared and a female fallen angel emerges from it. She has shoulder-length black hair, purple eyes, and, like most fallen angels, well endowed. Her outfit consists of a white t-shirt, which shows her midriff, and skinny jeans while wearing sandals. Azazel-sama, I was sent by the Grigori to live here and help discuss strategies to deal with Rizivim and the Khaos Brigade should another attack occur. I am hopeful that I would prove useful for the time. The fallen angel declared. Oh yeah, the Grigori mentioned that another strategist is planning to join us to help us deal with the current crisis. May I have your name? My name is Marta. Will you allow me to assist? If the Grigori sent you, I don't see why not. Sona herself is a brilliant strategist, but it would be better if there are more to guide us. Wait a minute. She is going to live here. But Azazel, that's Riaz is against the idea of having another girl live in the house. Marta then caught sight of Issei and approaches him. I've heard of the Sekiruyute through the Oppai Dragon show. You have a lecherous face, but I can see something cool from within you. Would you mind if I get closer? Marta then puts her hand on Issei's cheek and apparently intends to kiss him. Wait Marta. Issei weakly resists her advances. It's okay, I just want to see what it's like to be with the Sekiruyute. Marta then speaks with a seductive voice. My name is Haidu Issei and please stop this. We can't do it in the middle of a meeting. Well then Ice, I hope that you satisfy me during the rest of my stay. Satisfy? That's enough. Riaz pull Issei away from Marta. Why did you have to stop them Riaz-chan? This was just getting good. Serafall complained. We are in the middle of a meeting right now and if you look around, everyone has an awkward look on their face over what just happened. Half of the girls were blushing after seeing Marta attempting to seduce Issei, while many of those who are attracted to him look at this attempt with hostility. Some of the men in the group only had confused and awkward looks on their faces, while the others ignored them. Is she really going to be one of the strategists for our team? Sekvera asked. If the Grigori sent her then she must be reliable in a way. Marta, are you really the strategist they sent to assist us? Of course Azazel-sama. Sorry about that, I only wanted to play with Ice a little, but it seems my switch got flipped by accident. Marta laughs it off. There is no way I will accept having her in the house. Riaz screamed. We cannot send her away due to the fact that the orders for her to stay were from the Grigori, so everyone should just get along with her. Azazel makes a big laugh much to Riaz's dismay. Moments later, the meeting ended with the formation of Team DxD, and awkwardness ensues with their new house guest. I still have yet to figure out the rest of Dodge's abilities since I can only use so little of them. There is still so much for me to learn about that dragon. Issei said in his thoughts as he leaves to train. In Romania. I will get Valerie and her holy grail no matter what. Marius shows obvious frustrations by Euclid's failure to get Valerie despite backup from Grindle and Krom-Kruch. After knocking down a vase, Marius was visited by Euclid and Krom-Kruch. The three of you were supposed to bring Valerie to me. What the heck happened? There were too many powerful opponents for us to fight. More data needs to be collected before we can go any further. If we are going to win against the Carmilla faction and take over the human race, I need the Holy Grail for the mission to be accomplished, and you two coming back empty-handed does not help. Euclid then stabs Marius with a blade he had hidden in his robe. We never intended to win the war. Humans and vampires will all meet the same fate eventually. We only came in to let you know that you are not needed anymore and killed you under Rizavum's order. No longer will this war be relevant. Euclid then pulls back the blade and Marius drops dead. The last fight may have delayed us, but we will succeed nonetheless. Euclid and Kromkruich then leave the room as Marius's blood begins spilling on the floor. The next morning. As Issei lies on his bed half asleep with Serafall, Riaz and Asia, he felt something heavy lying on top of him. Huh? But you? No, she is sleeping on the right side of me. Sarah? No, she and Asia are sleeping on the other side of the bed. Did a Kenosan sneak into my blankets again? Then again, her Oppai is slightly bigger than what is on top of me. Dang it. No time for this. Who is underneath my blanket? Issei finishes rambling in his thoughts and uncovers himself to see Marta naked on top of him. Marta-san. Issei accidentally bursted out. Riaz moaned for a bit before turning, much to Issei's relief. Good, she is still asleep. I can't imagine what she will do to me if she sees this. Wait a minute, what is Marta-san doing on my bed anyway? I also don't want Sarah and Asia to see this. I am afraid that they might get influenced to do this. Never mind. Sarah also does that from time to time, but still. Come on Marta-san, get off of me. Issei again rambles in his thoughts. Huh? You were awake, Ice. Good morning. Marta rubs her heavy eyelids before allowing herself to get a good look at Issei's face. What exactly are you doing in my bed? My. Is it so wrong just to get to look at the sleeping face of the Securite? Ice, you may not have known, but I have always been fascinated by you since you became the hero of the underworld. To see you in Ddraig's armor, the way you treat kids, and the sportsmanship you have shown against Saraerd Bale, I have seen it all through the recordings of you, and it only intensifies my desire to meet you. Now that I have, I feel like I want more. Marta puts her hand on Issei's cheeks. Wait Marta-san. I don't want any misunderstandings to occur, especially so early in the morning. Issei becomes desperate. Relax Ice, I am not going to have you break off the relationships you've made with the other girls. I am just wondering if you have room for one more. One more? Issei becomes speechless at the thought of Marta becoming his. Marta definitely has the beauty of a fallen angel for her. She has a very good figure with a large Oppai. The thighs that are currently touching my legs are also very soft. To have my body be connected to hers, that is definitely not a bad thing. Maybe I can. Before Issei can continue thinking about the pros and cons of having Marta with him, he felt a strong pressure coming from the right side of his bed. Marta, just what are you doing with my eyes? Riaz is staring intensely at Issei and Marta. Well, if it isn't the Crimson Bust Princess. Aren't you supposed to say good morning instead when you see the face of your friend? Someone who calls me by that name and steals ice is no friend of mine. Looks like we have a selfish one here. Do you honestly think that you can keep ice to yourself? I heard that he is already in a relationship with Serafall Sama, yet you and the other girls are treating him like he doesn't have a girlfriend. I think I have the right to allow myself into this group. I am not going to consider you to be part of the Haidu residence just because you live here. There is no way I am going to allow such a person to be near Issei. Azazel Sama told me that everyone should get along, but apparently, he never told me that the Crimson Bust Princess could be such an obstacle. Marta teased. Stop calling me that. Riaz grabbed her pillow and tosses it towards Marta, but she easily dodged simply by moving her head to the side. It looks like I will delay my fun for the time being Ice, but I do hope we get to play next time, and when we do, I will offer you even more of my service. See you downstairs. Marta gets out of bed and puts on her sleepwear she left on the bed before heading downstairs, leaving Issei puzzled and Riaz frustrated. Who does she think she is to do this to Ice? They sure do get along, don't they? Sarah said. Sarah? When did you wake up? Issei asked. Around the time you accidentally blurted out Marta-chan's name. She looked like she was having fun so I decided not to bother her. Serafall lets out a small giggle. Issei checks on Asia and is relieved that she is still asleep despite the whole ordeal. During training. Saji takes a blow from Dulio as they spar. Dulio and Saji continue their match in hopes that the latter will achieve balance breaker, but with no luck so far. Issei sees this as a completely one-sided battle with Saji on the losing end. Come on Saji. You are going to have to do better if you want to achieve balance breaker. Issei is currently using Dodge's armor rather than Ddraig's in an attempt to unlock and understand his new abilities, despite having yet to master True Queen, which is essential in mastering his new armor as well. If you are going to use my powers for training, keep the level of power of your techniques in moderation, or you will pointlessly deplete your stamina like you did when you battled Crom Cruach for the first time. Ddraig warns Issei. I will remember that as I train. Let's see what else I can do. Issei spreads his wings as they become covered in blue flames and shoots them like bullets. Fire can take on many forms ice, but the power remains the same, so don't just rely on it as one of your main attacks. If long-range attacks are needed, there is still a variety you can use as mentioned before. Sekiruyute dono, you better watch out when using Ddraig's fire. Blue flames are a lot hotter than regular, so try not to burn down your own house. Dulio warned. Right. I will take note of that. Issei then accidentally summons a black shield, but at the cost of his tail. What the? It seems as though Ice-kun can also make weapons from Ddraig's armor. It looks like what I was told about the variety of abilities of this dragon is true. Sona explained. Yes, but there is no telling what more I can do considering that each ability I use drains my stamina. I suggest you switch back to Ddraig and train using True Queen to work on your stamina. After all, you haven't unlocked all of Ddraig's abilities as well. I will do so. Issei then switches back to Ddraig's balance breaker and transforms into True Queen. I see that you have been too busy using Ddraig's power instead of mine. Ddraig sounds displeased. Sorry Ddraig. I just wanted to get more used to the armor. It's definitely a good thing trying to adapt to the changes, I will admit, but it won't do any good if you try to force it like you did in battle. I know. Let's just get this done. Issei then proceeds with his training as Sona watches both him and Saji. It seems like Sun Wukong and Valerie are making decent progress, although none of the Hakuryuku's attacks are hitting Sun Wukong. Marta approaches Sona. Ice-kun is making progress as well with his new powers, but hasn't fully adapted to it yet due to lack of stamina. He is currently training with Ddraig to get around that. I see. It looks like is very clear on who is the stronger of the two heavenly dragons, but Ice definitely has a few advantages over Valerie, especially since that he can use True Queen during training. Agreed. By the way, do you have any information regarding the Khaos Brigade? Azazel seems to trust you in order to let you be our strategist, so I suppose you have some knowledge of the situation. I was told how sharp you from Azazel-sama, and for you to deduce this just because of his approval is very impressive. Yes, I do have some new knowledge of the Khaos Brigade from a source. Sona becomes curious. A source. Before I was sent here, the Grigori decided to send a spy to join the Khaos Brigade to figure out what their goals are and the methods they plan to use to achieve that. What we did find out from him was that the summoning of 666 is actually a very slow process and that has yet to begin, so we will be given some time to prepare. He wasn't able to find what method is needed to undo the seal as of this moment. Our spy also has yet to meet Rizavam, but promises to tell us when he does. For now this information is classified, so we have to keep it a secret from the rest until information is gathered. I see. Ah. Murayama's scream was heard. Murayama and Khaos are lying on the floor exhausted with their shinai beside them after apparently losing to Sun Wukong's Shikigami, who takes a form of a human and is just standing there calmly with a disappointed look on his face. You two definitely exhibit the basic skills needed to use a sword, but in order for you to defend yourselves against the Khaos Brigade, you are going to need to be at least 10 times better than what you are showing now. Sheesh, we are only human. We can't be as strong as devils like Haidu and Kiba-kun. Khaos complains. No doubt that humans are weaker in terms of raw strength, but that alone isn't what makes you strong. Some members of the Khaos Brigade are human and are strong enough to keep even the Sekiruyute at bay. We want you to at least achieve part of that, since your magic is still very limited, as you are only able to summon Resvulgar as your only technique in that area. Lefei is currently training us in magic, so that we don't have to rely on Resvulgar to do our battles. Summoning him is practically the last thing we wanted to do. Yeah. The price of summoning that bird was horrible. Both Murayama and Khaos shriveled at the thought of summoning Resvulgar again. After Issei spars with both Dulio and Serafall, with the former ending up as a frozen popsicle both times due to their abilities, the day of training ends with most showing signs of exhaustion, except the trainers and Office, who was sitting next to Sona to watch. I will help if needed. Office told Sona before leaving. Is the information on who the spy is classified as well? Sona asked. Yes. It will be dangerous for him if everyone here knew who he is. We can't risk his identity being found out by such a dangerous terrorist group. Even if you meet him, you must treat him like an enemy at all cost as he will do the same. That is as much as I can tell you. That information is good enough. Well then, since taking a bath is the next thing after hours of training, I guess it is time for me to wash Ice's back. Talk to you again later. Marta softly giggles. What? Sona yelled in shock as Marta runs towards Issei. She is just like a Keno. Sona said in her thoughts. Marta's actions soon got Issei into more trouble with the other girls once they are in the bath. Meanwhile in Romania. Master Lucifuge, I just received word that Marius's death has given a huge advantage to the Carmilla faction. Soon enough, they will acquire all the territories they desire. The messenger spoke to Euclid. It matters not who wins or lose. What really matters is the progress of our plan. Has there been any word from our oppositions? Your involvement in the human world has alerted those beyond the three factions. You must plan your actions carefully as they are now allied together against us. Euclid remains calm. They won't be much of a problem after they are eliminated. After all, for us to summon the Great Red, something bigger must be freed. How exactly are you going to free 666 when the seal was made from the god of the Bible himself? It's a slow process, I will admit, but every journey begins with a single step. The first step will be a sacrifice. Euclid then opens the curtains behind him. Behind those curtains was a young vampire girl restrained heavily on the arms and legs with her mouth tied up. Euclid takes a knife and makes a small cut in her arm. MMPH. The girl makes a small cry. The blood drips on a symbol below her, which then glows briefly and stops. The blood of a pure-blooded vampire is always welcome as a sacrifice. Now that the girl knows of our plan, I suppose that a quick and merciful death will suit her. Euclid then begins releasing a spell, which takes the form of a miniaturized sun. MMPH. MMPH. The girl grunts painfully before her body quickly turns black and fades away. If that is something you didn't like to see, then don't worry. We needed only her as a sacrifice. The rest of the plan will be acquired through other means. Yes, Master Lucifuge. Come. There is something I must attend to. Euclid then leaves the room with a messenger following behind. The next day in the Haidu residence. Valerie is currently adjusting to her new lifestyle. Since her soul has been broken due to the overuse of the Holy Grail, she often requires assistance from the other residents. Gasper shows the most concern for her condition, but is happy that she will be staying with him as a safety precaution from the Khaos Brigade. It seems like you've made quite a life for yourself, Gasper. Compared to me, it looks like you had the better end of the deal. Your hard life is over, Valerie. Senpai is a kind person and I know that he and everyone else will treat you well. Gasper said. Oh my. You have grown after all for you to be this confident. I guess you really made the right decision to be with the Gremory clan. I didn't choose to be with them. I was actually found by them and they took me in first before meeting the rest of them. You are right, however. I felt like I was becoming stronger thanks to my friends who are there to support, and with the Khaos Brigade on the loose, I need to get even stronger. I am sure you will. Ah. Valerie suddenly grabbed her head out of pain. Gasper panicked. Valerie. What's wrong? Don't worry. It's just the dissipating effects of my longiness. It will take a while before the effects fully wear off considering how long I have been using it. Valerie, don't push yourself. You only started recovering from your broken state, so you need to be careful. I was told what happened to Valerie through Butchu, and all that did was made me more determined to defeat the Khaos Brigade. Issei said as he approaches Gasper and Valerie while holding a cup of some kind of hot beverage. Senpai. Issei gives Valerie the drink. This tea is something I learned from my mom. It will help relax both your body and mind, hopefully. Thank you. Valerie takes a sip from the tea and suddenly becomes surprised as the tea enters her mouth. It's good. What did you add in this? It's a special kind of tea leaf I bought that are often used to make Chinese medicine. My mother would often have me drink this tea or miso soup with crushed ginger whenever I am sick. I know you are not sick, but I think it will help you recover faster once your mind calms. I see. Again, thank you very much, Sekiruyute. My name is Haidu Issei, but feel free to call me Ice like the rest of my friends. Very well, Ice-kun. Valerie gave Issei a genuine smile, causing Issei to feel embarrassed. Thank you for caring for Valerie, senpai. Issei responded to Gasper's gratitude by petting his head. You're welcome, Gasper. With more people in the house, let's get stronger together. Yeah. Both Gasper and Valerie agreed immediately. Just as Issei was about to leave the room, Marta approaches him. Marta-san. Hello, Ice. Flirting with Valerie after she just recovered. Valerie lightly blushes after hearing Marta. No. I was just thought that maybe since Valerie is a new member of the house, I thought I should help her since is still affected by her longiness. Issei immediately denies it. So you are truly as caring as they say you are. It's okay to flirt with all the other girls, but just don't leave me out, okay? What? Again? Issei becomes dismayed. Our fun just keeps getting ruined by the other girls like in the bed and just earlier in the bath. For once, I hoped I get to have my way with you, Ice. Issei is at a loss on how to react, which Marta finds amusing. Just kidding. You are probably already tired of getting in trouble with the other girls, so I will leave it at that for today, But don't think I am going to give you up so easily just because your girlfriend is a Mayu, understand? I will see you soon. Marta gives Issei a wink before leaving. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you some things about Senpai. Senpai is a very kind person who also attracts a lot of girls around him. He also likes women's breasts a lot. Gasper told Valerie. Issei panicked after Gasper told Valerie one of his bad points. Gasper, you didn't have to tell Valerie that. Seeing Issei like this caused Valerie to make a small laugh. Haha. Don't worry about it, Ice-kun, everyone has their bad points. Besides, if those girls are attracted to you, it must mean that you have more good points as well, and one of them is being brave like Gasper said. You did take on the strongest evil dragon, and to do such a thing, you have to be really brave. Is that so? Hahaha. Issei gives out an embarrassed laugh. Besides, I don't mind if Ice-kun likes women's breasts. That just proves he is a man since I heard men are turned on by such things. What are you saying? Issei begins stammering. If you were to find me naked while I was taking a bath or something, I wouldn't mind. Issei suddenly imagines Valerie's naked body in the bath talking in a sexy voice, telling him to come. He then has a small nosebleed, which Valerie and Gasper takes notice of. Just kidding. I prefer it if men don't try to peep at me, but I still don't mind though. I just wanted to poke a little fun at you, but I will give you a little reward for protecting me and trying to treat my current state. Valerie gets up and gives Issei a kiss on the forehead, causing the latter to blush. Anyway, I am going to go explore the rest of the house. Make sure to take care of Gasper for me. Right? Issei could not respond in any other way as Valerie left. Sorry, senpai. When we were kids, Valerie has a tendency to play with me every chance she gets in order to deal with the tough environment back in Romania. She doesn't really flirt with men like Marta senpai, but she can be just as playful, and she doesn't take kindness for granted, considering that no vampire in Romania was ever kind to me and her. Gasper told Issei. Is that why she kissed me? Yes, because it is the first time that someone has risked his own life for her, and she didn't feel right about not returning it. I hope you don't mind that part of her. Of course not. She is your friend, and that alone is enough for me to allow her to stay. Gasper smiled brightly at Issei. Thank you, senpai. I am going to go train to get stronger so I can fight alongside you. Gasper immediately heads to the training room Issei was using. Of course, I also like the reward. Issei gives a lewd smile after remembering Valerie's kiss. In Marta's room. Hello, it has been a while since I've last heard from you. Did you learn anything new? Marta is speaking with someone through a magic communication circle. Euclid has already began taking steps to undo the seal. They have already accomplished the first one by taking the blood of a pure-blooded vampire that had been affected by the Holy Grail. How long do we have before all of their steps are completed? The process is very slow. I would say no less than 8 months, maybe about a year at least. Team DxD is currently training to the max in order to catch up to the Khaos Brigade. Do not blow your cover until we are ready. Back in Romania. Understood. I will keep playing my role. I will also make sure to keep you updated. See you soon. A fallen angel shuts off his magic circle before going through the door behind him. Behind that door was none other than Euclid and Kruch. Looks like our messenger has returned. Euclid remarked. What is the next step, Master Lucifuge? You will know soon enough. For now, let's try to draw the attention of the Carmilla faction away from us, and once that is done, our enemies are next. Years before the Great War. In the land of the Geats, Gotaland, Sweden, under the night sky, a naked woman enters a cave, carrying what appears to be Grendel's head into a cave. After reaching the lake inside, she gently lets the head sink into the water as she mourns. My son? Who did this to my son? She screamed in pain as she mourns. The water soon begins stirring up huge waves as her scream reaches out of the caves. She then destroys a nearby rock out of grief. May no mercy be shown to the killer. No mercy be shown to man. The woman begins transforming into a much larger creature with dark silver reptilian skin. Her head and lower body remains unseen, but shows to be on all fours. As she leaves, she lets out a mighty roar before heading to the village where Grindle was killed. The day in the Haidu residence. Hello. This is Marta calling for Doran. How are things going with Euclid and Kruch? Marta is in her room again using a magic communication circle. Not much activity. Euclid told me he had some personal business to attend to and just left. Nothing about 666 or the process of reviving the being so far. Kruch is currently getting his body fixed since he is still at the tuning stage. I see. Tell me if you find something new. Will do. How is the team doing? Team DxD have temporarily disbanded to finish their current objectives in the human world. After all, many of them are living here while still maintaining their identities as part of 3 factions. Must be tough, isn't it? Marta gave a small laugh. It's actually pretty relaxing when you are not thinking about battles or strategy for battles. Kind of wish you were here. So do I kind of wish to meet the team. Shoot. I got too sidetracked. Crom Cruich is now on his way so I better go. Goodbye. Goodbye. Marta's magic circle disappears. After she hangs up, Issei unexpectedly enters her room. Ice. What are you doing here all of a sudden? Azazel-sensei told me that he needs you back at the Grigori headquarters. Oh yeah. He and the other fallen angels are currently tracking Klippath's next move. There is still not much information I can give him though. He told me he got some information from the stray magicians captured and needs you to look through it. I see. Tell everyone I will be back within a couple of days then. They already know. Okay, see you later Ice. Marta blows Issei a kiss before disappearing in a magic circle, leaving the latter uncomfortable. What is with her? Issei said in his thoughts. As Issei goes into deep thought, he looks down and spots a pink panty on the floor, unintentionally getting himself excited. WHWH, what is a pair of panties doing on the floor? I thought Marta-san is a more organized girl, but to leave something so precious on the floor. Issei then looks around to make sure that nobody is watching. What should I do? Should I pick it up and put it back in her drawer? No, that would make me look like I was taking her underwear out instead of putting it back. If I leave it, it will make me look even more like an underwear thief. Issei becomes deep in thought, unsure of what to do. Maybe it is better for me to put it back. I just have to make sure no one is watching, cause if I just leave it on the floor, it will be even worse. Okay, here it goes. Issei then picks up Marta's underwear and opens the drawer, but before he could actually put it back, the door suddenly burst open. Hey Marta-san. I heard you were leaving so I thought maybe you need lunch, so Murayama was holding a bento box she made for Marta, but goes into shock after getting a clear look at Issei. Issei stood there frozen with sweat dripping from his head. Murayama-san, this isn't. Before Issei could finish, Murayama, out of anger, takes out her shinai and starts beating him up. You pervert. Issei's scream is then heard through the whole house. Issei is currently sitting on his bed while Asia is healing him. Thank you Asia, I am glad that you believed my story. Things like this always happen to you Ai-san. You have to be more careful. Understood, though it seems like I can never get on Murayama-san and Kata-san's good side, no matter what I do. Asia remains optimistic. Actually, I still remember Murayama-san saying you looked kind of cool after your battle with Crom Cruich. Don't worry Ai-san. Murayama-san and Kata-san are good people. I am sure you will be able to become friends with them once they warm up to you, because Ai-san is a kind person. Asia. Issei is touched over Asia's opinion of him. As Asia finishes healing Issei's face, her face suddenly turns red. Hey Ai-san. Do you mind going on a date with me? It's been a while since the two of us were together. Issei becomes a little surprised, but smiled at Asia's request nonetheless. It has been a while since it was just the two of us. If you are okay with me then yes. Hearing the answer she wanted, Asia becomes excited and nodded strongly. Hi. That's not fair for you to get ahead of us Asia. That's right. I want to have a date with Ice-kun too. Zenobia and Irina suddenly show up in Issei's room, surprising the two. Hey? Zenobia-san. Irina-san. Both of you were here. Of course. We overheard you asking Ice out on a date earlier, and for you to get a head start is unfair. Zenobia complained. It's been a while since me and Ice-kun spent time together as well, so I should have the right to date him first. Irina also complained. How? But Ice-san already said yes. No way will I be left out. Asia remains persistent. As the church trio argue, Sylphie stepped in and is the most calm of the four girls. I heard that you said yes to Asia's request for a date. Yeah. Issei was reluctant to answer due to the church trio arguing. Well, I would also like to date Ice-kun, but I am actually here to tell you that I think you should date Murayama-san first. Everyone in the room becomes shocked over Sylphie's opinion. Sylphie-san. What are you saying? Asia responds first. I overheard Ice-kun complaining about having a hard time getting Murayama-san and Kata-san to fully acknowledge him. Considering what you've done to them in school, it's easy to understand why they don't trust you. That's not helping Sylphie-chan. Issei complained a little. I am only pointing out why they still don't fully trust you. I am asking you to go on a date with Murayama-san so that she can learn to trust you a bit further. Trust is not just something you receive, it is something you have to earn. If it's to earn trust then it can't be helped. Too bad. Oh well, I'll just have to wait until my turn. Zenobia and Irina reluctantly accept Sylphie's suggestion. I am sorry Asia, but it looks like our date will have to wait for another time. I understand Ai-san. I hope that you and Murayama-san get along better after this. Serafall suddenly shows up in Issei's room, apparently having overheard everything like the other girls. Huh. All of you are going on a date with Ice-kun. No fair. I am Ice-kun's girlfriend so I want to have a date too. Serafall pouts then forcefully puts her arms around Issei. It's been a while since we were together. I am always looking forward to spending time with you since I am always so busy. This is so unfair I have to wait again. I got it. I got it. Please don't look at me with such a sad face Serah. You are going to make me feel bad. Issei becomes desperate seeing Serafall's sad face. Issei hesitantly turns to Asia. Asia. Asia looked as though tears were about to come out of her eyes, but holds it back. Serafall-sama is right, she has less time with you due to her jobs than most of us. Make sure that I am next after her, okay? Of course, Asia. Issei felt relieved. Wait a minute. How am I going to convince her to go on a date with me? I am sure that all of you already know that she will refuse if I ask her. Just leave it to me Ice-kun. I will make sure she comes to meet you. Just wait at the entrance of that department store you and the girls always go to at 10. See you then Ice-kun. Sylphie then leaves the room, leaving Issei and the church trio uncomfortable over what she is planning. The next day. Issei is already waiting at the entrance of the department store after arriving 15 minutes early to make sure he isn't late. Seriously, how the heck will Sylphie-chan be able to convince Miracle-san to come here? She and Khaos-san are already avoiding me as much as they can in the house. I just hope that no blackmail is involved. After 5 more minutes of waiting, Miracle suddenly shows up running to the entrance and is surprised to see Issei standing there. Her outfit consists of a pair of pink Tom shoes, a colorful flower-patterned skirt, a jeans jacket over a purple t-shirt, and a white handbag carried on her right shoulder. The time is 9:58 a.m. I do. Issei is just as surprised that Miracle would show up as scheduled. You actually came Miracle-san. Sylphie-san told me that Khaos is going to be here at this time. Do you know where she is? So that's how Sylphie-chan is able to convince her. Just how exactly am I supposed to follow it up? Issei said in his thoughts again. Sorry, but Khaos-san isn't here. Did you actually plan this out with her? No, Sylphie-san told me that Khaos wants me to dress up in some cute clothes for some reason and that I have to meet her here. She didn't tell me why, but from the sound of her voice, it sounded important, so I decided to go only to see that she is late. Issei starts having trouble finding words to say due to Miracle-san's innocence, but knows that he has to tell her. Miracle-san, I was also told to come here by Sylphie-chan at this time. You were told to come here to meet with Khaos-san, but since she isn't here, I am sure you know what this means. Miracle did not immediately get the idea and begins looking around to see if Khaos would show up. As soon as she figures out what Sylphie did, her face begins turning red. WHWH what? Why did Sylphie-san set me up with Haidu of all people? Murayama's scream attracted some bystanders nearby. Not so loud Murayama-san. Sylphie-chan set this up so that maybe we can get along better. There is no way I can get along with someone who peeks in the girls' locker room almost every time he goes to school. Please just give it a chance, okay? I promise I will do nothing of the sort since I do want to get along with you and Khaos-san. Murayama looks at Issei giving an innocent plea to continue and sighs. Since we are here, we might as well take a look around and maybe get some shopping done, but you better not get too close to me. Right. Issei follows behind Murayama as she enters the store. After the two enter the store, Sylphie is seen behind the bushes observing Issei and Murayama. Alright, everything went as planned. Time for me to go follow them. Before Sylphie is able to leave the bushes, a hand grabs her right shoulder. When Sylphie turns around, she sees Riaz and Akeno enveloped with aura emitting a strong pressure, frightening Sylphie. Are you going to explain what is going on here Sylphie? Riaz asked in a frightening tone. Yes. Back in the mall, Issei and Murayama are looking around the store and exploring different shops, although the latter is keeping distance from him, making it impossible for Issei to give eye contact with her. Just when Issei is about to give up hope, he saw Murayama staring at a beautiful blue dress with stars in her eyes. Wow, so cute Murayama forgot that she is with Issei as her eyes are too focused on that dress. Would you like me to buy that dress for you Murayama-san? Murayama finally snaps out of her trance and becomes surprised over Kazuto's sudden offer. Like I would want anything touched by your hands. You are saying it like I have some sort of disease. Issei protested. Of course. Every time you lay your hands on mine, I always feel the need to wash them. How rude. Despite his complaints, Issei couldn't help but smile looking at Murayama strongly staring at that blue dress. Well, since you keep staring at that dress, I'll just go into that store and get it. Hey. I already told you I don't before Murayama can finish, Issei headed into the shop. Jeez. After buying the dress, Issei rushes out of the store and holds the bag in front of Murayama with both hands. I told you I don't want it. Murayama protested. Your words don't support your actions. Ugh. Murayama couldn't fight back. Just think of this as an apology gift for school. Alright. I will take your gift. Murayama reluctantly took the bag from Issei. So where to next? I am still looking around. I told you not to stand too close to me. Sorry. Issei immediately backs off a couple of steps. Murayama then turns her head to the front and secretly gave herself a smile while holding the bag. Thank you. Murayama softly whispered so that Issei couldn't hear. Did you say something? Issei asked. Nothing. Let's just continue. Murayama and Issei then took the escalator to the upper floor of a store, not knowing that they are being secretly followed by Rias, Akeno, and Sylphie. Seriously, if this date was just to get Murayama to trust him, you could have just told us. Rias sighed. I thought Asia and the others told you by now. Sylphie replied. Wait, Asia knows about this. Oh yeah, Asia-san, Zenobia-san, Irina-san, Serafall and Sona, and I made Ice-kun promise to take them on dates after he is done. He sure has his hands full whenever he has time off. Rias becomes frustrated. Darn, I should have come earlier. Maybe after he is done with Murayama-san, I will make up for lost time by offering my services to Ice-kun in bed. No. Absolutely not. If anyone is going to be with Ice in bed, it's going to be me. After all, I was the one who made him into a devil. Rias fights back. Selfish as always but you. Ice-kun makes everyone happy so why not let others do the same. I am already spending less time with him since Serafall and Sona became his girlfriend. I do not want to lose any more time being with Ice. Sylphie sighs. Sheesh, then let Ice-kun know the treason. We already made plans with him because we let him know what we want, but at the same time, Ice-kun is already very busy so he can't always come to you. Try coming to him for a change like you do almost every night. Both Akeno and Rias are surprised over Sylphie's maturity despite being younger than they are. It appears that you are still immature on how to handle relationships since Sylphie-san knows how to handle situations better than you. I wonder if Sylphie-san is next after Serafall and Sona and the others. Wouldn't that make you sad but you? Akeno teased Rias a little. Like you are one to talk Akeno. You also barely came to Ice other than at night. Akeno snaps after hearing what Rias said and the two starts emitting powerful auras yet again, but this time towards each other. Other shoppers took sight of this and fearfully steps away from the girls. Is that a challenge but you? I'll be happy to accept since it involves Ice-kun. I won't lose. This is getting dangerous. I got to find Ice-kun and Murayama-san fast and get away. Sylphie sneaks away to the escalator while Rias and Akeno are distracted. Back in the Haidu residence. Hey Valerie-san. Cadis finds Valerie cooking in the kitchen. Ah, Cadis. Is there anything you want to talk about? Have you seen Murayama? She left her cell phone in her room and I can't find her in the house. I recall Asia telling me that she went on a date with Ice-kun at a department store before going out with Zenobia and Irina. Hearing this causes Cadis go into a state of shock. Are you telling me that my best friend is on a date with that pervert? Cadis yelled loudly, startling Valerie. Wah. Not so loud Cadis. Ice-kun just wants to get along better with Murayama. There is no way I can keep silent knowing that Murayama is with that beast. I got to go rescue her before he does something indecent. I think you might be overreacting a bit. Don't you think you have taken the situation a bit too far by calling Ice-kun a beast? Of course not. That pervert and his friends keep peeping on us whenever we are changing, that is why I must rescue Murayama. Who knows what he will do to her since he is that close. No more wasting time. Wait for me Murayama, I am coming. Cadis rushed out of the house at lightning speed. Maybe Ice-kun should try to get along with her better as well. Valerie gave a small laugh. Back in the department store. Come on Haidu. Pick up the pace. Murayama ordered Issei around, who was forced to carry all of the things she bought. It's impossible for me to go any faster without collapsing. I am already carrying so much that I can barely balance myself. To his surprise, Murayama gave a cute laugh. You are the one who wanted this Haidu. You have to live with the consequences. Growl. Murayama's stomach was heard rumbling, causing her face to turn red. Why don't we get lunch and take a break? Yeah. Murayama and Issei then head to the food court with Sylphie smiling behind a pillar. This is turning out even better than I thought. Hopefully, Murayama-san would think better of Ice-kun by now. Sylphie said, unaware that what she is doing she is attracting attention from other shoppers. Security, we got a stalker. One of the shoppers yelled out. Wait, this is a misunderstanding. Sylphie begins to panic. One of the security guards grabbed her arm. Come with us. We need to have a word with you. I am telling you that this is a misunderstanding. I am not trying to kidnap someone, I am just looking out for a friend. You can tell us everything later. For now, your actions have attracted suspicions from the other shoppers. Please wait. The guard ignored Sylphie's plea and continues to drag her by the arm. In the food court. Hey Haidu, do you mind if I ask some questions about your devils in general? Murayama asked as she took another bite of her tonkatsu. What do you want to know? Issei then took another bite of tempura. Were you always a devil or a human turned devil? I heard that Asia-san and Zenobia-san used to be human too before being reincarnated. Issei froze after remembering his murder by Rainer that forced him to become a devil and finds himself unable to answer. Haidu, are you okay? I am fine. It's just how I became a devil was not a good memory. Asia and Zenobia also did not have good memories of how they became devils as well, so it is hard to say. I see. Then I guessed I shouldn't have asked. Sorry. It's okay. I can tell you if you really wanted to know. If it's something that you really want to forget, I would feel bad for making you remember it. I just thought. Issei suddenly muffles Murayama and hid under the table. Murayama forcefully makes Issei let go. What are you doing? Not so loud. Look. Issei pointed at several people wearing black robes. Based on their outfits, these are stray magicians. They must be from the Khaos Brigade looking for us. What? Now? They are terrorists. They don't care what they do as long as they can accomplish their goals. What are we going to do? Murayama becomes anxious. We will hide until they leave. Try to be quiet. Realizing that Issei probably knows their presence, the magicians forcefully push away the tables using magic, causing everyone to panic and make a run. They are using magic here, this is bad. Issei becomes unsure of what to do. Security guards rushed immediately with their batons in an attempt to stop their attack. Stop. Stay right where you are. One of the guards yelled. Very well. The magician then snaps his fingers and swatted all the guards away as if they were flies. It's too dangerous here. Murayama-san, get outside now. I will deal with them. Should I contact the others? Report it to Butchu and the others. Go. Murayama then rushes out to the entrance of the department store where she bumps into Rias and Akeno, who were also alerted of the situation. Butchu? Akeno-senpai. What is going on here, Murayama? Rias asked. Stray magicians are going after Haidu. He told me to run to report it to you. The Khaos Brigade is on the move again. Let's go, Akeno. Hi, Butchu. Rias and Akeno then rush to the food court. In the security room. Terrorists are in the food court. Evacuate the civilians now. The security guard watching over Sylphie was alerted of the attack through his walkie-talkie, causing Sylphie to be on alert. Looks like you are innocent. Go now. Both Sylphie and the guard rushed out to the store to see panicking shoppers running outside. You follow them. I will assist in the evacuations. Right. After the guard left, Sylphie instead heads further into the store to find Issei. Back in the food court. Well, thanks for saving us the trouble of finding you, Sekiruyute. One of the male magicians said. Issei, who is already in balance breaker, just stare at them with hostility. For you to attack in a place full of innocent people, this ends now. Let's see how tough you really are, Sekiruyute. Replied one of the female magicians. Issei then gets into battle position as the magicians get ready to cast their spells. In the Grigori headquarters. Azazel and Marta learn from their prisoners that the other stray magicians plan to stage an attack in the human world, only to find out too late. If we go now, we should be able to assist stopping them. Right. Azazel and Marta were about to get out when they suddenly heard a loud noise. Shemhazai rushed to the two, apparently trying to alert them. The Grigori's headquarters is under attack. The security guards are dead or dying. We have to move. Azazel and Marta decide to stay and rush towards the entrance, where they see fallen angels desperately trying to get out. A stream of fire suddenly appears and kills the retreating fallen angels. When Azazel and Marta look up, they see a large dark silver wingless dragon looking down at them, apparently at least 50 meters tall, more than 3 times the height of Tannen. No way. Azazel looks up frightened at the sight of the large dragon looking at him with hostile eyes. Why did you kill them? Azazel asked. They are the ones who attacked first. This is my punishment. A female voice comes out of the dragon. If you see my son, tell him that his mother is looking for him. The dragon then turns back to her human form before disappearing, leaving both Azazel and Marta anxious. In the food court. The male magician makes an unusual move as he takes off his robe and drops his staff, apparently putting on a martial arts pose. If you are that concerned about the people here, that is fine with me. Now that you are here, there is no reason to involve them anymore. Issei becomes very surprised at the magician's sudden pose. Are you actually going to fight me barehanded? Of course. Do you want to risk destroying this mole or have a proper one-on-one fight? The other magicians were surprised at their comrade's suggestion and started complaining. Are you serious? We defeat him if we all fight. That's right. You don't have to risk injuries fighting the Sekiryuite, especially since he is covered in the armor of a heavenly dragon. This is my fight. The rest of you already have opponents to fight. Ice. Rias called Issei as she, Akeno, and Sylphie arrived. Stay back. It appears that he intends to fight me one-on-one. Take care of the other magicians. Hi. Sylphie yelled as she prepares for battle. Now with the others taken care of, shall we begin? The lone magician asked. Of course. Once both sides are ready, Issei charges at the magician at full speed, ramming the magician through one of the food vendors until they reach the kitchen. Issei pins the magician down and attempts to strike his head with his right fist, but the magician countered with a monkey flip. Not bad. You sure used quite a bit of strength when you charged at me, although you let your guard down when you charged at me. I did not come here to take lessons from an enemy. Issei charges at the magician again, this time to properly land a punch. The magician, however, ducked and punched straight at Issei's neck. Ah! Issei yelled in pain while grabbing his throat. The magician took advantage of this and gave him a roundhouse kick, knocking Issei down, and proceeds to taunt him. Is that all you got, or should I provoke you by destroying them all, so you fight better? Issei gets up and tries to land another punch, but was easily avoided. He was then kneed with such force on the abdomen that his armor started to break. Since you have that armor, it wouldn't be fair for me to fight without some kind of enhancement, so I hardened my body to match that armor of yours. The magician then elbowed Issei on the back of the head, knocking him down a second time. Are you sure you were the one whom Grindle fought equally with? I just don't see it with your lack of skill. Hearing this causes Issei to become more furious and proceeds to charge again at his opponent at full speed. Again? You sure haven't learned your lesson, haven't you? The magician proceeds to do another kick, but to his surprise, Issei stops suddenly and grabbed his foot before it can strike. What the? Who said I don't learn from my mistakes? Issei tosses the magician to the counter of the food vendor and punches him on the abdomen, sending him through one of the tables. As the latter tries to get up, Issei tackles him through the fence before he can recover, sending both of them down to the first floor. As Issei gets up, he taunts the magician. How's that? I am going to get you for this. The furious magician then charges at Issei as he prepares to defend himself. On the other hand, Rias, Sylphie, and Akeno are currently holding back the other magicians, but have much difficulty turning the tide of the battle. Haha. Is that all you've got? I expected more from someone from the Gremory clan. One of the female magicians taunt Rias. Rias unleashes another suppressed form of the power of destruction towards the magician, but her attack was easily avoided and only caused another part of the store to be destroyed. I see. So you are purposely holding back so you don't put others in danger. Too bad we don't hold such morals like all of you. DSK. The magician then casts an attack spell aiming for Rias, launching a huge fireball, only for Rias to easily block it with her defense spell. You don't appear to be that strong yourself. My, it looks like I will have to increase my power with this next attack. Huh. Rias becomes startled. The magician then casts another attack spell, this time in the form of blue energy, and launches it towards Rias. Despite the strength of her magic shield, it was unable to hold the attack and knocked Rias back. Ah. Rias fell hard on the ground. I expected a better fight from you. Mina, Kai, let's finish these amateurs off. We don't want to keep Master Lucifuge waiting. Aya. Mina was knocked to a wall. Aya. Kai is shocked by Akeno's holy lightning, rendering him unconscious. Ara. It seems that I can hold back less compared to Butchu. Akeno makes a sadistic smile, frustrating Ria's opponent. How annoying. The magician then cast the same spell, knocking Akeno back. Time to make sure the two of you don't get back up again. Before the magician can do anything, Sylphie, who is already transformed, was able to distract her opponent fast enough and launches a huge tornado towards her, knocking her hard through another food vendor. Don't think we are weak just because we are holding back. Nana. Kai, who appears to have recovered, yelled in distress. Nana emerges with only her robe slightly torn. Akeno becomes surprised over Kai's sudden recovery. But these magicians are apparently enhanced with magic. I can see that. All of the magicians knocked down by the girls are able to get up on their feet with ease, although their bodies show that they have taken some damage. Not bad. Let me show you mine. Kai launches a lightning attack towards Akeno, knocking her down yet again. Akeno. Rias tries to reach for her friend, but was knocked back by Nana. You shouldn't take your eyes off of your opponent, princess. Like I would like to be called that from the likes of you. Rias then launches another attack using the power of destruction, but was easily avoided again. On the first floor. Issei is currently fighting in a clothing store, but none of his attacks were able to strike his opponent at this point. Let's see how you like a knee to the face. The magician knees Issei to the face this time, cracking even more of his armor. Ah. Or a punch to the gut. Aha. Issei soon started coughing blood. Partner, his body is definitely enhanced by magic. He specializes in close-quarter fighting, giving him the advantage using his enhanced strength and durability. You have to use magic in order to turn the tide. Ddraig advises Issei. No. If I do that, then the whole shop will come down. There may be people still trapped here. Still up for more? Then let me deliver it. The magician charges towards Issei. Not good. Can't take much more of this. There has got to be something. Issei desperately looks around the store to find a counter-attack. There. Issei grabs a jacket and puts it in front of his opponent, causing him to punch the clothing instead, giving Issei enough time to dodge. What the? The magician then turns around and saw Issei's fist heading towards his face. Issei's strike connects, sending the magician from one shop to another across. Ah. This time it was the magician who spills blood. Before he can recover, Issei charges at him and delivers another blow, this time to his gut. Realizing that the magician cannot act fast enough, Issei continues to strike his body without stopping. With each blow, the magician continues to spew more blood from his mouth. You are not the only one trained in close-quarter fighting. You. Out of anger, the magician holds up his hand and unleashes a blast of energy pushing Issei back. What the? I thought you were going to fight me without using magic. Issei complained. Since when does so-called terrorists ever keep their word? You must be dumb if you expected that. The magician then summons his staff right back to his hand. I am very well aware that destroying this mall is not what you want. Too bad for you, because that is exactly what I am doing. The magician raises his staff and begins chanting a spell. And use any of my attacks without causing tremendous damage. Need to find another way. It seems as though you have forgotten about me, Ice. The Dodge's voice was heard, startling Issei. The Dodge? Correct. Use my abilities to stop him without putting anyone in harm's way. There are some you used during your battle with Kruich and training. Yeah, you are right. Ddraig, transfer a little power through a Dodge's armor. Understood. Issei's armor transforms from red to black, with the exception of his left hand, as the boosted gear begins transferring power. Boost. Issei then begins shooting blue fire bullets towards the magician, forcing him to cancel the spell to defend himself. Issei takes advantage of this distraction and takes out his tail sword to break his magic circle, although his strike was avoided. It looks like I am going to have to do things a little differently. The magician creates a magic circle below his feet and out of the circle comes a huge stream of fire taking the form of a dragon. The dragon then charges at Issei. In response, the tail sword transforms into a shield, holding the attack back until the magician's magic can no longer support it. This is very interesting. It looks like I am going to have to take back my doubts I had of you earlier. I see now why Grindle likes to fight you. Be careful, Ice, because you transformed in your normal balance breaker instead of true queen. This armor is only as strong as the form you transformed from. The Dodge warned. It's alright. I don't think I will need that much power to defeat him. Very well. As I said before, make sure to keep the level of your techniques moderate. Don't waste your stamina in this battle like with Kruich. Like I will make that mistake again. Issei and the magician continue their fight on the first floor. The three girls fighting in the food court are not faring as well as Riaz is the only one left standing while breathing heavily. Not bad, but I guess being in Clipith would make anyone's job a lot easier thanks to the magic given to us. As Nana prepares to kill them, an energy attack was launched towards her, shifting her focus away from them. Nana turns her head to see Murayama and more members of the Occult Research Club members behind her. I figured how dangerous you stray magicians could be, so I called for some help. Riaz smiled proudly at Murayama. Help couldn't have come in a better time. Good job, Murayama. Riaz then turns towards Nana, Kai, Mina, and a couple other magicians behind them. Everyone, those stray magicians are covered with magic to enhance their abilities. I am going to have to use this technique, so hold them off. Asia, Hilakeno and Sylphie. Riaz summons a magic circle below her feet and begins channeling magic. Hi but you. Asia then heads towards her injured comrades and begins using twilight healing. Murayama, Caddis, stay back and let us handle this. The Kendo girls obey as Zenobia then summons Durandal. Let's see how well the rest of you fare against us. Nana becomes eager to fight them. Here I go. Kaneko emerges from the ceiling and scatters the magicians by punching the ground with immense strength. Hiba and Zenobia took advantage of this and aimed for the two magicians behind Nana. Kai attempts to fight Kaneko but was blocked by Erasmus and Gasper. Irina and Kaneko decide to fight Nana but with great difficulty. Since we are fighting in a department store, we have to be careful in case there are people still in here. Roswa said as she tries to bombard Kai with explosive magic, but all were easily blocked by his defense spells. Asper activates Forbidden Baler View to freeze Kai, giving Roswis another chance to strike him with explosive-based magic yet again. The attack hits, but when the smoke clears, Kai emerges with only minor wounds on his body. That attack would have killed me if it wasn't for my body being covered by magic. This is going to be interesting. Kai then launches an attack spell of his own, but both Roswis and Gasper avoided it. Dibba summons Graham and, along with Zenobia, starts the fight off equally against the two magicians they are facing. Neither side, however, have the advantage over the other. How very persistent. Nana manages to block Kaneko's punch, but distracts her long enough to allow Rina to summon her light bow and launches a light spear towards her, causing Nana to move back. In response to Nana's superior magic, Kaneko goes into Nekomata mode, growing a pair of white cat ears and a tail to match her opponent's abilities. We can't let any of them get near Butchu. Right. Kaneko then uses Senjutsu in the form of an energy ball and launches it towards Nana, but was blocked. Irina then summons her holy demonic sword, but her strike was blocked as well with Nana's staff. Apparently, you are all lacking compared to our first opponents. Nana easily pushes them off. This is getting boring. Allow me to create some fun in this fight. Nana summons a large magic circle below her feet. What is coming out of it isn't a spell, but a large creature with two heads emerge from it. One head is that of a lion, while the other is that of a goat. Its tail is a snake head. The creature is about 3 times the height of Ria's and lets out a loud roar once the summoning is complete. It can't be. Kiba becomes astonished upon sight. I heard that the group has faced one of those transformed from the one known as Freed. With this one, you have every reason to fear. This chimera is at least 4 times as strong, and he will be the one to kill you all. Nana makes a sadistic smile and orders the chimera to attack. Like I will let you. Zenobia beaks away from her opponent to attack the chimera, but her strike was caught by the snake's head and was tossed hard onto the wall. Looks like I will have to slow it down. Kiba activates his sacred gear, Sword Birth, summoning a huge number of swords below the chimera's feet. Sword Birth succeeded in slowing the chimera down, allowing Kiba to outmaneuver the creature using his high speed. Kiba then summons the Sword of Betrayer and attempts to strike the chimera. Kiba manages to land a hit. What? Despite using all of his strength, he was only successful in making a somewhat deep but non-fatal cut on the neck of the lion's head. I forgot to mention that even our spells are enhanced. If you want to chop off his head, you will need to use a lot more magic than that. DSK. Kiba moved back before the chimera can swing its giant paw at him. Don't let it get near Butchu. Akeno, who has already recovered, attempts to slow down the chimera with her holy lightning, but the creature's high durability allows it to keep moving. Don't you dare kill my friends. Gasper is suddenly surrounded darkness, turning him back into Dark Gasper. My, I guess summoning the chimera was a smart move after all. Nana only laughs seeing Gasper transformed. Like I will let you. Kai attempts to stop Gasper from transforming completely, but was blocked by Roswis. It looks like I have a huge mess to clean up. Wait, Gasper. Ryusen is still channeling her magic for an ultimate attack. We just need to slow them down. Selfie warned Gasper. Sounds interesting. Very well, I will abide by your terms to see how you do. Dark Gasper surrounds his enemy with darkness. What is this? Nana struggles to break free. None of you are safe for what is coming. Ryower. The chimera violently struggles against Gasper's restraints. This one appears to be a little stronger. When is her attack ready? Now. Everyone move back behind Butchu. Akeno yelled. All of them fighting the magicians obeyed, including Dark Gasper. Once everyone is behind Ria's, a slow-moving giant sphere of destruction was released in front of the chimera and the stray magicians, confusing the latter. Is this really her ultimate spell? It's really slow. Nana mocked Ria's attack. Whoa. Nana, I am being sucked in. Mina shouted as her body is being pulled into the sphere. I and the chimera are pulled as well, while Nana tries to resist. This can't be happening. This can't be happening. Master Lucifuge. Kai screamed out before his body comes in contact with the sphere. TSK. You might have beaten us, but I am glad to die for Klepeth. This isn't the end. Those were Nana's last words before her body was enveloped by the sphere with the others. Once the sphere disappears, the bodies of the magicians and the chimera are no longer there as well, much to everyone's relief. However, a mysterious cloaked figure emerges from behind one of the broken food vendors and gets a good look at the exhausted team. A woman's voice was heard. I've heard from a couple of magicians I tortured that this is the team that fought Grindle. From the looks of it, all of you appear to be very weak. I am pretty sure this can't be all of you. I will be looking forward for when you all are gathered. For now, I have a message to deliver to the other fighting. The figure then disappears after giving a warning to the girls. As Issei and the magician continue fighting, the former currently has the advantage thanks to A Dodge's armor. Using the tail sword, Issei manages to weaken his opponent a great deal, although the latter is still strong enough to hold his own. I am getting tired of this. I am going to capture you Sekiryu, even if I have to destroy the entire city to do it. The magician then raises his staff and a huge fireball comes out of it. Let's see what a tiny star would do to this store. This is bad. I better stop it. Issei attempts to attack the magician, but all froze when he realized that his opponent is not even resisting. Smart. You know I wouldn't do such a thing if I were you. If something were to interfere with my concentration, I would no longer be able to hold the star, and I already told you what might happen if I drop it. Now be a good Sekiryu and let me kill you for Master Lucifuge, or I will make this star bigger and have you watch the city burn. Drrrrrrrrrrr. You coward. Issei becomes frustrated over the choice he has to make. I won't let you ruin my child's fun, Bayman. The magician's name is finally revealed from a woman's voice. Before both Issei and the magician can figure out who it was, a hand was stabbed right through a magician's stomach. Ah! Bayman screamed in pain and was left dying on the floor. Before the star can touch the ground, the cloaked figure grabbed it and cancels the spell. So Bayman says you are the Sekiryu. Well then, it looks like you have more trouble to deal with in the future, unless you can kill me now. The woman taunted Issei. Don't get caught up in this ice. I sense an extraordinary power coming from this woman. The Dodger warns Issei against fighting her. If you aren't going to fight, let's see if your friends can fare any better. Leave them alone. Against a Dodger's advice, Issei charges at the woman with his tail sword. Before the sword can connect, however, the woman grabs the weapon between her finger and tosses it away. Before Issei can strike back, the woman takes a deep breath and suddenly releases a huge stream of fire at him. Ai. Issei screams in pain. Issei falls on his knees, allowing the woman to make one more strike on his abdomen, causing Issei's armor to shatter almost completely. How disappointing. I only threaten your friend so I can have a good fight against the one who fought my son to near death, but I can see you are not at your full strength. I will be expecting better once we meet again. The woman disappears, leaving her cloak behind. With the woman's disappearance, the battle ends. Outside of the department store. We will take care of the people's memories so that they don't remember what happened while the store is getting fixed, but we can't erase the trauma people felt from this experience. Riaz told Serafall, who arrived upon request to get a report. Understand Riaz-chan. I will alert the underworld authorities. Serafall disappears using a magic circle. Issei, who is currently being healed by Asia, explains what happened to Miracle and Sona. So there is a woman you fought wearing a thick black cloak and you lost easily in the end. This is very troubling. Are you sure that this is all the information you can provide us about her? She mentioned that I fought her son to near death, but considering how many strong opponents I have faced, I can't tell who it is. Before Issei can continue his discussion, Khaos suddenly attacked him. Wah. Battle or no battle, I heard that you've had a date with my best friend, and knowing you, you've probably violated her. No way I can forgive this. Khaos puts Issei in a submission hold. You've got it all wrong Khaos-san. I didn't do anything of the sort. Issei struggles to get Khaos to let go. Lies. Miracle would never accept a date with you willingly, so you must have used dirty tricks to get to her. Khaos, as strange as it sounds, Haidu did not do anything wrong to me. In fact, he saved my life when those magicians attacked. Miracle urges Khaos to calm down. Really? Khaos relaxes her grip. Yes. To be honest, I think it would have been a lot worse if I had been to the store on my own without him. It's safe to say that Haidu never had any ill intentions during our date, at least this time. This time? What do you mean? Are you saying that I am actually going to violate you next time we are at a store? Miracle ignored Issei's complaint. Let go of him Khaos. Fine. Khaos reluctantly lets go of Issei. Back to the issue, we must find out whose son Issei defeated to find out who that woman is. Sona gets back on topic. That would be no longer necessary. Azazel shows up alongside Marta. Sensei, you know who that woman is? Issei asked. Yes. That woman is Grindle's mother. Azazel answered, much to the shock of everybody. End of the here. So that's it for today's video guys. Before you go, just like the video and share it with your friends. Bye.